So good morning, everyone. Chodesh Elul is coming, is starting, or actually, and we have a lot to prepare for because hold on, I'm just gonna minimize that and see how we can. Okay, so I really there's a prime moment in the morning that we take on, and when we take advantage of it, it's actually going into the whole day. And Elul, Chodesh Elul, is a prime moment for us to really get closer. And we have like a 40 days time that if we know how to finish it and like end it with a strong mindfulness, then it can really help us make a closure into the month and bring us to a better state to open up the new year. Make sense? Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna start with a little pasuk that I really liked from Yemima that was very inspiring and personal soul searching. So whatever happens in the month of Elul, it really stand in front of us for us to understand and be ready and understand that there is a challenge that is ahead of us. And when we take on this challenge of this 40-day that challenge, we go into a preparation of a deep internal, precise cheshbon nefesh. What is cheshbon nefesh? Is really when we reflect and we put our intention into what happened to us over this year. How did we behave? How did we act? What did we do? How did we react? And when we write it down and we touch on things that happened to us, we are able to internalize it and study between me and myself, because I cannot compare myself to other people, right? I can only compare myself to the one I was yesterday or to the one I'm willing to be tomorrow. But being in the present moment right now and reflecting on the way I behaved, the way I acted, the way I reacted toward myself, toward other people, and the midot, the behaviors I would like to correct, letaken, then I know I have like some work to do. Okay, now it's not just a work of just saying everything is going to be good. Do you think that if we just say everything is going to be good, then everything is going to be good? It can be a nice mantra, or that a good vibe to lead us to stuff, but at the end of the day we really need to put it into a plan, to have a plan in front of us, and not just to think it. To think it is awesome because our thoughts create our words, create our reality. But when we think everything is going to be good, I want to know what kind of action, what kind of plan I'm taking on myself. And then I really start by having five things that I'm waking up and I'm writing for myself that I'm grateful for every single day for 40 days. And when I do that exercise, yeah, and even if it's in small wins, and I tell myself that I want to be a better wife for my husband, and I dedicate 15 minutes of my time just to be present in front of him, okay? Not just to go and say everything is going to be good, but just if I take for 40 days, 15 minutes that I'm present in front of my husband, in front of my kids, and I commit it to myself, yeah, then there is like an action that I'm taking on that is going to be putting me into a better state, a present state that engage me into, there's no other option. I have to be there. I have to be present because I'm committed, because I have a plan, right? So the thing is not just to think it, the thing is to put it lemaaseh, to put it into action, okay? And that's why A lot of rabbanim and a lot of the Torah and a lot of psychologists even are really recommended. We can get trapped in our thoughts, but the moment we go out of our thoughts and we put down a plan, okay, and we take it into action, that's where it's starting to make a meaning. And from that deep internal preparation of a very deep precision of what do I want to lead myself, I know what I want to make the best of. And there's no looking in the unnecessary, right? I'm not holding back into the unnecessary, into the bad things, into beating up myself of what was not good, right? I'm looking into what good I want to bring into my life, what good I want to bring into my relationship. And then from a clean interior place, I'm able to create with good intention, with a inner prayer. Okay, when I'm actually thinking about how I can connect to God within these 40 days in a much more deep inner presence, because when I'm connecting to God, I'm connecting to myself. When I'm connecting to myself, I'm able to connect to other people in a much more loving, full heart, opening heart. And that change, those 15 minutes can change my whole life. Okay? So now, when there is like the little girl that we talk about, right? With Yamima, she used to differ between the little girl and the learner. הילדה הקטנה והלומדת. And she says that the little girl sometimes is holding back because she's stubborn and she want to be seen, and she's like expecting, and she's the one who want to be giving, and she doesn't let go, right? And she is very loud and she makes herself showing off all over. Why? Because she likes to be seen. She likes to be in the middle of things. But when we ask that little girl to actually calm down from my inner self, and I caress her and I hold her and I love her and I tell her that I can see her, even though she doesn't have to make like a big deal out of everything, but just by being who she is, just by being present. Okay, so I guess the present moment, just being present, learning how to be present, is the moment that's going to bring me to be a lomedet, just by being able to listen, to captivate the moment, and to hearing to what is happening around me, because everything that is passing through me has a message. And then the awakening moment is actually opening up into a heart essence of really learning how to reflect on every moment. So now it's like those 40 days is really a soul check. We can take it as a soul check, right? It's like an inspection into our soul. And when we put our attention into exercising and planning things, then I'm cleaning my heart. When I'm cleaning my heart, I'm not holding into anger, and I'm not holding into imaginations, and I'm not holding into achzavot. How do I say achzavot is disappointment. And then I'm coming from a very simple state that can really allow me to get into a tabula rasa mode. What is a tabula rasa mode? Is like you take a big table and you erase everything. Okay, tabula rasa. It's coming from Latin, and when you erase everything, what do you have? You have a clean table, and then you can start writing up again. So when you come into a clean state, you're able to create from from scratch. So the work is simple because it carries really your essence of your heart in it. And when you put your intention into creating and you erased everything, then you can start writing up everything you want to make for your life. So and basically we're going to have that in the workshop that we're doing soon in Miami. So whoever is in Miami is invited in September 11. It's going to be 3 consecutive Sundays, September 11, September 18, and October 2nd. We're going to forgive. We're going to do a tashlich at the beach, and we're going to create from scratch. So that's going to help us to really clean up all the old stuff and create our new year to come. So to continue on, if there is a flexibility, if there is flexibility into creating. So obviously there is, and every intention of good, true prayer is real, and it's letting me to be flexible with myself, because I cannot come from a place of perfection. Okay, I need to come from a place of flexibility within myself. I need to be able to allow myself to be beishtadlut. Okay, I cannot really demand and have like this strong voice that is beating up my consciousness and keep telling me you have to do that and you have to do that, and because this is not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of demanding. So that's why I want to be more flexible. That's why I want to be more understanding, more holding capacity my action. Like I surely have a plan, but the way I have to present it to myself is also not in a very demanding way, but more in a flexible way. Because when I'm flexible with myself, I'm still able to work out that muscle, because I'm in constant overview over myself. But I want to not being too harsh, because then I can just forget about it. I want to be consistent. I want to maintain it. And when I'm flexible with myself, I'm more able to maintain it. Okay, so it's a lot of flexibility also in our physical, but also in our consciousness. So we make it a pattern. Why we make it a pattern and we make it consistent? Because if we don't have a plan that we don't follow, then it's not existing. Okay? So if we want something to exist in our life, we need to make it consistent. We need to really connect with it with all our heart. We have to be passionate about it. Because if we're not passionate about it, if we're not spiritual awakening every day and connecting to our meditation or connecting to our prayer or connecting to nature or whatever it is, we don't take advantage of that prime moment. And when we take advantage of that prime moment, we can actually be more awakening, more enthusiastic, more passionate about making it happen. And then it become our work. But guess what? I'm working and doing something I love. So it's like a win-win situation. Okay? So I really exercise myself into taking it into pattern, and mostly and most importantly is really to be grateful and to open up gratitude into my life. So Modeh ani lefanecha every morning, just by saying that prayer, is fulfilling me in ways that are putting me in a time of of thankfulness. And when I'm thankful and grateful that I just woke up, then I appreciate what's happening in my life, because I could not waking up. I could not be able to physically get up my bed. And when I appreciate those little things and I appreciate having those people in my life, I'm able to actually being grateful just just to be present within myself, to be in my consciousness, to connect to my consciousness. And when I'm grateful for that, then it's a ripple effect that is empowering my relationship to be with love. So when I'm showing them that, what's going to happen in return? It's a love, it's a win-win. If you wake up and you start screaming at everyone, what's going to happen in return? It's a lose-lose. So when you're conscious about your prime moment that you're waking up, okay? And that's why Rosh Chodesh and Elul are so important, because they put you in that prime moment. And when you're aware of it, right? Then you take on that moment and you ride the wave. And when you ride the wave, you're able to take it on not only for the day, not only for the month, but for the whole year. So this is like great exercise just for the mind, just for us to be able to come into that understanding of renewal, okay? Understanding of renewal and exercising our consciousness into working out the muscle of the mind every week, every day, every moment, and coming to a place of living that life like it's a meditation by itself, because I'm so conscious that I'm able to meditate through life. How amazing would that be? How amazing would that be if we're able to do something like that, right? So there's also another thing, okay? There is we also sometimes make mistakes and we're not able to keep it consistent, right? So what do we do? Okay? The power of correction is coming to us exactly at that time. When we understand that we make a mistake, instead of beating up myself, I know this is exactly an amazing moment. Why? Because I know that now I can come into a place, into the power of correction. אז ברגע שאני עושה טעות, אני מבינה שאני יכולה לתקן. And the moment I know that I can correct, this is empowering me to become more in tune with my midot, to become more in tune with my knowledge of perception of the behavior I want to bring in, okay, into my conceptualization. Okay, so I'm not afraid, and I'm not afraid of failing. I'm willing to take on this error. I'm accepting it, okay? But while I'm accepting it, it's also unnecessary to hold on. So I'm willing to release it and to clear it at the same moment, okay? Otherwise, what's happening? I'm piling up luggage of sorrow, of mistakes, of beating up myself, of regrets and shame and stuff like that. And what's happening? It's creating blockages in my energy field. And when I have energy blockages in my body, then I start bringing on myself diseases. And we want to really, be aware of that, because when we're aware of that, we know that something is happening. I can release it. אני יכולה למוסס את זה באותו רגע. I can release it in the same moment and not let it stuck in my energy field, in my body or in anywhere, right? Because it's unnecessary for me. And especially that we know that Chodesh Elul is, God has full mercy on us, okay? He forgives us. He's always there to forgive us because he's showing us the way. He's there. Everything is happening for a reason. When we understand that everything is maktub and is happening in purpose to awaken us into our purpose, then it's easier for us to forgive because we know it's just another lesson coming to teach us. It's actually a blessing from God, okay? That's his way to show us love. It's like a parent showing a kid of something that he did a mistake. So he's showing him how to fix it. And he forgives him. The same relationship that God has with us, okay? So, my question to you, and this is something for you to write down, will you be able to learn the flexibility you're going to have towards your dear one at home, okay? Outside of yourself. That means, how are you able to forgive and be flexible with the people around you, with your loved ones, with your husband, with your children, with your parents, those dear ones at home that are giving you such a hard time sometimes? It's so hard to be conscious of really investing in our relationship, but how flexible can you be when you are with them? And also, you don't want to be stiff. So when you go through your heart and you want to cleanse it, yeah, even the smallest thing, how can you forgive them? So that will be two things we're going to talk about today. And we're going to ask ourselves today. And what I suggest, what I'm going to stop recording right now, because I think we're good for today. This is really something to answer. The more we write it down with ourselves, the more we are able to go deep within and reflect on our thoughts. So thank you, everyone. Have a good day. And next week, Monday at 10 a.m., we meet every week for the Heart Wisdom class.